In this video, we will learn about master file table and we will learn how to recover an existing file from the master file table. So I have started this FTK imager on this Windows XP machine. Now I am going to add evidence item. I will use physical drive. Next and finish. So let's go to the master file table. Go to the root and now click on MFT. So right now we are in the master file table. This pan here shows that this file signature tells us that we are in the master file table right now. So what we are gonna do here is we will recover this tutorial.jpg file from this master file table. So for this, first of all, let's search this tutorial dot. It's a jpg image, so we will search it in the master file table. So right click and click on find, click on text and search tutorial.jpg. So we have reached the location of tutorial.jpg in the master file table. So if we scroll this, then if you look here, then this tutorial.jpg is starting, its records are starting from this file signature. So let me show you one thing, that there are different attributes in this master file record of tutorial.jpg file. There are three attributes. So the first one is standard information attribute. It starts from byte 10 0000 and 00. So if we examine this, we can see here that this is the starting of the standard information attribute, and this byte 60, which is 96 in hexadecimal, tells us the length of this standard information attribute, which goes straight from here to here. As you can see, the length is 96 bytes. And if we see again, then file attribute starts from byte 30. And if we look here in the master file table, then this is the starting of the file name attribute. Okay, and this is the length of this file name attribute. So next attribute is data attribute, which starts from 80. And if we go further down here, then we will see that this is the starting attribute of this is the starting byte of data attribute. Okay, so what we are going to do here, first of all, let's first find out the date of creation of the file. We can find the date of creation of the file from this uh, standard information attribute. if you look here, then you can find the date and time of creation of this tutorial.jpg file, and this is the date of its modification. So now let's go straight to the data attribute, which starts from byte 80. So we will take help of this diagram to run to find the location of data run list, and from this data run list we will try to recover this tutorial.jpg file. So as you can see here in this data attribute, that data run list is located on the row number 5th. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So if we go here, then this is 1, 2, 3 and 4, and 5th. From here the data run list starts. So we will have to do some calculation in order to recover this file. Since it is a non-resident file, it is located at different locations, and we will have to go to those locations and copy its clusters, and then we will combine those different parts to create an image. Before we do that, let me show you the actual image. So this is the actual image we are going to recover from this master file table. So let me close it. Now in order to read this data run list, we will take help of another diagram, which is this. So as you can see, this number here tells us the size of the number of clusters the file is going to occupy, and this digit tells us the starting cluster of that portion of the file. So if we go here, then this 1 here means that this portion of the file is occupying 8 clusters. So we will write here 8 clusters. Let me delete this. Let me show you another thing, that if we see here this byte tells us that it is an existing file. These 2 byte tells us that this is an existing file. Okay. So since this one tells us that it is this next 1 byte is occupying 8 clusters, then this digit 3 tells us that we have to copy 3 bytes, and these 3 bytes, when we convert this into decimal value, we get this value. And let's copy this. This is the starting cluster of that portion of the file. Now let's go ahead. Now again there is 1 byte, and when we convert it into decimal we get 18. So we will write 18 clusters, and this 3 here tells us that we have to copy the next 3 bytes in order to get the starting cluster of that file portion, so which is this. So let's copy this. Then again 96 97 7 and then 3 P. Then since it is the digit 2 tells us that we have to use the next 2 bytes, which is 137. So 137, and this 3 tells us that we have to use the next 3 bytes, which is minus, and this, then again this 1 byte tells us that we have to copy the next 1 byte, which is 32, and 32 clusters is already there, and this 3 byte tells us the next sorry, 32 and next 3 1 2 and 3, which is this. So now as you can see, we have this size, this file is located at different locations, and this is the starting cluster, and this is the number of clusters that portion of file is occupying in the master file table. So in order to recover the file, we will have to convert these 8 clusters into the number of bytes. So we will multiply this 8 by the number of bytes per cluster, which we can get by, if you click on this NTFS system and go to the properties, you can get this cluster size, which is 4096 bytes. So we will multiply this with 4096 bytes, and let's do some calculation. So 8 into 4096, we get 327.68. Now we will do the same thing here. 18 into 4096, which is 737 73728, and do the same thing here. 27 into 4096, which is 27 into 4096, 397, 3 6.2, and then again, well, actually, it is a very tedious task, but let's finish this. So, if we do 137 into 4096, we get 5652, and the last one is 32. 4096, we get 32 into 096, we get 131072. So now we have calculated the size the of that particular portion of file in bytes. Now let's do the actual file carving. So click on this noname NTFS name here, and then right click here and go to the cluster. So the starting cluster is this. We will copy it and go to this cluster. So from this file signature we can easily tell that it is a JPG file and this is the starting portion of the file. Now we have to select the number of bytes this particular portion of file is occupying in the master file table. For this we will go set collection length, and this is the number of bytes this particular portion of file is occupying. So I will copy this and put here and click OK, and now right click and save selection. So I will save it on the desktop. I will create a new folder which is the name of file in parts, and if I go to this folder I will save it fragment -1. Okay, now right click and go to the another cluster, and this is the starting cluster. So but in order to get the next starting cluster of this file, we will have to add this starting cluster value to this value. So let's do this in the calculator. For let me type first 119474 plus this 1572131, then I get this value. So we can write this value here, which is 1691605. So let's copy this value and click here. So this is the next portion of the file. Now right click here and set selection length and enter this value here. click OK. Now right click and save this part of the selection, and we will save it by the name of fragment 2. Now we have to find out the next static cluster. For this purpose we will add this value into this value. So again use this calculator. So the 1691,605 plus this value, which is 196,221. Enter and we get this value, which is 1887826. So this is the static cluster of the third portion of the file, and let's copy it. Right click, go to the cluster, paste it, and then we are in the third portion of the file in the master file table. Now right click again and set selection length and enter this value. Copy this value and paste it here. Click. Now we have selected the whole portion of the third part of the file. Now right click and save this selection, and we will save it by the name of fragment 3. So far so good. Now let's find out the fourth static cluster, and for this purpose we will add this value into this value, into this value. So for this purpose, let me again 1887826 plus this value. Actually it is a negative value, so we will have to subtract this value from this value. So I will use minus instead of plus. So let's use minus, and 142,516 and enter, and we get this value here. So the static cluster is 174,5310. Now let's go to this static cluster. Right click here, go to the cluster, paste this value. Now we are again here, and then right click here, set selection length, and select the portion, save it by the name of fragment. Now let's go to the fifth portion of the file. So in order to get the static cluster of this fifth portion, we will add this value to this value. So let's again use the calculator. So 174,5310 plus this value, which is 47092, and enter. Then we get this value, which is 179,179,2402. Now this is the static cluster of the fifth portion of the file on the master file table. So let's copy this and go to the sector go to that cluster actually and copy this, copy it. So now we are in the fifth portion of the file. Right click, set selection length, copy the size of the file, and click OK. Now save selection and save it by the name of fragment file. Okay, so now we have, let's go to this folder file in parts. We have collected or copied all the five portion of the file. Now it is time to combine these five parts in order to create a image. For this purpose we will use CMD. So let's open CMD, go to the desktop, and then go to this folder, cd file in parts, and if I type dir command, then you can see there are 5 fragments. Now I will use this command, copy /b, then *, and then I will enter the name I want to give to this file. I will use the name recover.jpg. As you can see here, there is no file by the name of recover.jpg. Let me copy this. So as soon as I press enter, you will see a file here by the name of recover.jpg. So let's press enter. So as you can see, our file has been copied, and if we click on this file, you can see this image. So we have successfully recovered this image. You can verify this by clicking here. This is the original image and this is the recovered image. So both the images are same. So this is how you can read the master file table and recover any file from the master file table. I hope you must have got something to learn. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to this channel. See you in the next video.